such as the Honda plant, Mercedes, even tourism, and even the steel industry. But that's not the #1 industry in the state of Alabama. The #1 industry in the state of Alabama happens to be agriculture. Is it promoted enough? Do we need to promote it more? How can we enhance the #1 industry here in the state of Alabama?
Well, you can clean out chicken houses, you can spread chicken litter, you can plow, you can plant, and you can rake a lot of hay. And those are all things I've done to promote agriculture. You can belong to ag organizations. Less than 2% of the population of the United States feeds and clothes most of the world. It's a matter of homeland security. One nation, any nation's #1 homeland security factor is the ability to feed and clothe itself, and we do not want to become dependent on foreign countries for food and clothes like we have become dependent on foreign countries for oil and dependent on China for money. We cannot let that happen. I am the legitimate advocate for agriculture in this state and in this district, and I thank you, Ron, for that question. If the #1 industry in this district was Mercedes, every candidate would be all over it. The #1 industry in this district is agriculture, and those listening today, you know me because I'm one of you.
I'm Randall Shedd. Agribusiness is certainly the #1 industry in our area, and that's largely because of the poultry industry. We have to do everything we can, and when I was chairman of the county commission, we used our revenue sharing money that we got from the federal government to help get water lines to all the areas of Cullman County so that people could build chicken houses almost anywhere in the county, where people could build houses, they could build subdivisions. Now let me tell you, we've reached the point now in Cullman County where if we don't have adequate water supply, then, excuse me, if we don't have an adequate water supply for these poultry farms, we're going to start seeing poultry farms foreclosed on. I mean, they're going to have water. And certainly that's one of the reasons. We can all discuss and debate the reason, the details of the Duck River water supply project all we want to. But the fact is, the only two choices we have left is to finish that project, build the Duck River water supply, or run out of water. That's the two choices we've got. And when if we run out of water, then the poultry farms are going to be foreclosed on, and it's going to have a tremendous impact on our local economy here in Cullman County.
I'm Mike Graves. One of the biggest concerns that I've been spoken to about is regulation of our agriculture. It's getting to the point where we're all being regulated so much in everything we do, and not only in agriculture in our communities, but in our counties and our towns, even our families. The more agriculture gets regulated, the thing that concerns me, I ask this question: how much do we import, our products from overseas? And one gentleman told me probably about 30 or 40%. So we're no longer making our own food here in the United States. I can remember the time in Ronald Reagan's era where we were shipping all of our agriculture and stuff overseas to support other countries. So it concerns me that our agriculture and everybody's being regulated to the point that they can't afford to stay in business anymore. I look in my community, I can remember where people used to farm, and now it's all, they all fall under the Federal Government's Land Act, where they're being paid not to farm there because there's only pasture land and hay fields. So I think it's very important we support agriculture, and we get some regulations changed will help them do a better job. Thank you.
I'm Danny Aldridge, and I would not say that I am the only one that can be an advocate for the farmers. But I have years of teaching agribusiness in relationship with farmers and students and the farm industry. And I'm one of those farmers that on April the 27th, lost, they hauled off 38 tractor trailer loads of salvageable timber. And then I've got probably that much or more piled up in my pastures and windrows to keep my soil from washing away. All that was covered at our own expenses. Had no insurance that covered that. We also lost about 1.5 miles of fence that we had to work with and had to repair and had to get it where we could go back into. So I would contend today that I represent the typical farmer who works part-time. I'm retired from education. I work part-time, and I would challenge you to find me when I'm sitting around in the recliner at the house. I work all the time. I fed my cows last night at 9:30. They've forgotten what I look like in the daytime. So anyway, I do support our farms. I am an advocate for our farmers, and I really want to see our farmers be able to succeed with the best of the opportunities that they have. Thank you so much.
You are listening to the Cullman County Republican Party Forum. With us are Republican candidates for Alabama House District 11. The vote for this primary will be next Tuesday, the 12th. Now to our Cullman County Republican Chairman, Kenneth Cornelius.